through the program. They've all been offered full-time employment and all but 2 have taken it on. In terms of the expense, it's for us, because we're paying a pro rata salary of $34,000, we actually match that dollar for dollar with the host company. I'll just actually, there are objectives as to why we're doing it. Because we're actually matching that salary 50-50 with the host company, they've actually got buy-in, so they actually are looking very rigorously at who they want to join their team. But for us, it's about $14,000 that we actually spend on the program. So for us, it's a big return for a very small outlay, so we can afford to do quite a few of them. And the other thing is that what we've found is one of our major host companies, Allura, has now introduced their own intern program, closely modelled on ours because it was so successful. And a couple of years ago when they did start the program, they took 13 interns. So what we're finding is that, by providing a model to industry, they're actually now taking on their own, taking some responsibility for their own outcomes. So that's been pretty good. Eligibility, you've got to have a relevant post-secondary course, a portfolio, or else experienced and you're looking to move into another area. We expect a portfolio, so it's pretty much, if you're an intern, you're very much going for a job interview, and that's how it should be treated. Again, our objective is it's not going to replace existing positions, because clearly you're not in a position where you can take on a great level of responsibility at that stage. 50-50 match funding. And the way our program works, we've slightly changed it this year. We've already closed off the host companies and we put the series of opportunities that they've got available online. And then the interns are actually going to respond to those opportunities. So they can pick the company they want to work with, and it's a very competitive outcome. So they'll be competing with other people that also might want to work for, is Transmission Games now, right? Transmission Games. So that information goes online, and as I say, might end up with 8 or 10 or 20 applications, and he's going to have to sit through them and make the decision as to who's the most appropriate. So the decision is the company's decision, and then clearly if we have more applications that we can fund, then we will take that information internally and make an assessment. So it's still competitive. One of the other programs that we offer is business support for producers. So if you're committed to a career in the screen industry, this program provides you with an opportunity to pretty much support some of your overheads while you're still developing up some of your programs. So, it covers fees such as your own personal fees so you can survive, some fees towards, maybe having a consultant in to come and help you work out your business plan and your business scope, cover some of your rent, maybe your legal fees, attend some of the international markets. So that's sort of generally the overview of the support for producers. To actually be eligible, you've got to have, the idea is that you'll have a number of projects at various stages of development, because as I said, we're about developing individual businesses and we're about supporting individual projects. So the idea for us is that you will have a few projects in development. Clearly in the games industry, it's probably unrealistic that you will have 3 in a very substantial stage, but we would expect at least 1 is market ready. So you might have 2 that are, that you're developing, but there'll be 1 that will be taken to market and ready to pitch. So that's the idea behind it. And it is a loan, and the idea is that if you actually get a project up while you're in that marketplace, then you come back and negotiate what you're going to repay back to Film Victoria. So it's usually, that's why we expect that there's a slate of projects. And the way the program's designed is that if you actually get a fee-for-service job, we'd expect that you would probably pay a component back. So it might be a small amount, it might be 5,000 or 7,000, but we expect that you're kind of going to honour that loan. Once you've repaid half of that loan back to Film Victoria, you're eligible for a second. So, as I said, it's just a way of keeping some of those business overheads at bay, but it is designed to continue to develop your business, and we do expect that it gets repaid to us at some point. Another program we've got is International Festival and Market Attendance. It's festivals, it's very much targeting some of your recent graduates, might have a student project that they've, maybe taken to the Independent Games Festival or Independent Mobile Game Awards, or it might even be a professional company. If you get shortlisted, or if you actually win an award, then we'll pay you to actually attend that festival. In terms of the market loans, they're the markets that we fund you to go to, but unlike Multimedia Victoria, these are loans. So next to what you get with NMB, it's not as attractive, but nevertheless we feel that it's actually an important element for us to ensure that people do have that opportunity to get to the markets. And I know it's been touched on today as well, but we also offer mentorships. So if you're first time attending a market, you might actually, if it's a mobile phone market, you might actually, pay or come to us and we'll give you an investment of $3,000. And what you might then do, for example, is work with someone like Rob Murray here to actually help you work out how would you pitch your project at that market. What's the appropriate marketing collateral that you should be taking? What publishers or telcos should you be targeting? And it might be that he might even, broker some introductions or something like that. But it's entirely up to you and that party that you want to mentor you to determine, again, what your skills gap is and how they're going to support you in it. So a lot of what we do too, I think it's kind of self-empowering. You've got to decide what it is you need to get you to that next level, and then go around and about in terms of fulfilling that need. And some of our other programs, in terms of our prototyping, you can also apply for a mentor there as well. So again, if you're not very good at taking the project to market, you can work with an executive producer, you can either pay them a fee or you can bring them on as a mentor, pay them your $3,000. And when it gets to the marketplace, or they can guide you in terms of the development of the project. So as a mentor, you don't have any intellectual property ownership in the project, but it's there as a service if you really feel that you need it. And just lastly, in terms of digital media, it's myself and my colleague Brad Giblin. So between the two of us, we can certainly steer you in the right direction in terms of getting support for our programs. That's it from me.
I guess we can throw the floor. Some questions if you just have some
just those grants that are in Victoria, do they have the same ones in Queensland, or is that
the grants that are available for Queensland Government, in a lot of ways, cover similar things, but they haven't been specifically targeted at the industry. So there's certain opportunities to receive money, but they come through. It was state development up to recently. Brady, what that's what it's called now.
It's regional development, tourism, regional development, industry innovation.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I don't know what's called. They changed recently. So you would need to apply for them, and I can assist with that. And I can probably give you some advice fairly quickly on whether or not those things are likely to get up. But there is certainly funds available for some things, and I guess that's what I was alluding to before, is that Victoria did certainly take margins in specifically targeting some understanding of the differences between knowledge-based businesses and creative specifically, and traditional businesses. Because the measures where we have a weakness is that the measures that we use are the measures that we have applied to manufacturing companies for 20 years, and use multiple tests. That doesn't sit well with the companies that we're working with. So we would hope coming forward in the next 12 months that we will have some things that are a bit more targeted. But it's not impossible to get that funding.
Perhaps, as you both mentioned, there's circumstantial incentive programs, but do you have possibly a practical example of one of the recent, programs?
That where support was offered and what
yes,
support
exactly
was
right.
Over to you.
I can talk about Queensland specifically. I work with Invest Queensland. It's the investment attraction arm of the Queensland Government. The idea is that we're there to facilitate the decision people who want to either come in and set up here in Australia or increase their footprint, and with the emphasis being on geographical located in Queensland. The measurement